What is going on, people inside that internet machine? Welcome to this episode of The Pickups. I hooked up my Xbox One. Is it possible to love and hate a console equally? Eek. All right, so I put the Super Nintendo away. I played a bunch of Super Nintendo games this year, and I was very happy. You know, I'm rethinking how I stack consoles and what I think of certain consoles. And Super Nintendo, what a library. I mean, for God's sakes. Anyway, I hooked up my Xbox One S, and I was very excited because it's a console that I don't really know a lot about. I don't really play a lot of Xbox anyway. But man, it's not an Xbox issue. It's not a Microsoft issue. It's like a new console issue. I want to plug in the power, plug it into my TV, turn it on, put a game in, and just play the game. I hook this thing up, it pops up, you know, and it's like, oh, connect to your internet. Okay, then I'm yelling, hey, what's the Wi-Fi password? What's this? You know what I mean? To get that hooked up and, oh, you have an account, a Microsoft account, sign up with an email. Okay, cool, thanks for your email. Now that we have that piece of information, what's your phone number in case you need to recover a password? And it's like, God damn, man. It took me every bit of like an hour to get this thing set up. And then I popped in Rare Replay, and it took forever to like download while it's trying to also download updates from, the intranets. Like, oh my God. So I got Rare Replay started, and of course I want to play Battletoads, you know. Playing Battletoads, having a great time. And I really discovered that I do not like the D-pad on the Xbox One controller, especially for like Turbo Tunnel. Like you can't, I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know. Maybe that's the way it was programmed. They didn't fix that, but yeah, I'm having a little bit of a trouble getting through the Turbo Tunnel on Battletoads, which is something that I really don't have anymore when I play with a Nintendo controller. Anyway, you remember when I was talking about finding old vintage coasters? And you remember that episode? Well, I found a 9-piece wooden coaster set, hand-finished hardwood cork centers. Basically brand new, man. It's got all the stuff in there. You know, it's even got the piece of cardboard that holds the handle down. So, yeah, I thought this was really cool. Got it for like $4 or something at Goodwill. It was super cheap. And looks like that bad boy will sell for about 25 bones. Of course, we got some media pickups. I won't go through them all, but we'll hit a couple here. Got Vanishing Point on VHS. I've been looking for this movie forever on any format, and the Blu-ray version is like 25 bucks. So if you ever see Vanishing Point on Blu-ray, definitely grab that one. But yeah, I can't wait to watch this movie. And then one of the booths over at the flea market was having half off. Check this out. Family Values Fall Tour 1998. Korn, Rammstein, Ice Cube, Limp Bizkit, motherfucker. All in person, which is nice. It says that on there. Who else is in here? Oh, the band Orgy is in there. But yeah, anyway, that was $2. I figure I'll give it a watch. I think Tyler wants to watch it. And then, I don't know, flip it or something. Went to St. Vincent de Paul. The media was $1. It's always $1. But all of this is sealed and sellable, which is nice. So like Mortal Kombat, Legacy 2. Oh, this isn't sealed. This is going to my personal collection. Gods of Wu-Tang. That's what I'm talking about. But like these Disney movies and stuff that have the slip covers and they're sealed, I always pick those up, especially when they're $1. They seem to sell decently on eBay. And then I started to grab a bunch of these. You've seen these everywhere you go. These are like the 12 movie collection American Horror Stories, right? Like, so I started grabbing a bunch of these when I see them for $1 or less, just because I can pop them in and, just play movie after movie. Don't Answer the Phone, Bloody Pit of Horror, Nightmare Castle, Point of Terror, Don't Look in the Basement, Driller Killer. Oh, God. All these, like, cheesy movies. But I got, like, a zombie one, and then the one that has 15 action movies with Jackie Chan, Brandon Lee. Got a Western one. You know, I got some more horror ones. Horror ones are pretty interesting. So I got that. Dark Knight Collection on Blu-ray. Now, they're supposed to charge 99 cents per disc at this St. Vincent de Paul, but they've never charged me for multiple discs. They just charged me $1. So I got that for $1, which is awesome. So, yeah, I won't show you the rest of it, but yeah, some cool DVDs and VHS. All right, I got some video games. Now, like I said, this lady's booth was half off. It's a booth that when I go in the flea market, it's like right there on the right hand side, and she usually got all kinds of stuff, like all kinds of vintage collectibles, you know, cars, movies, DVDs, Blu-rays, video games, Hot Wheels, like everything, vintage Coke and McDonald's merchandise. And I don't know if she's getting out of the flea market business or anything like that, but everything was half off. And she started to stockpile like you have all this stuff in your booth and it's not selling. At some point, it's time to reduce the price or move it out of there because your space is limited. You know what I mean? Like I've never had a flea market booth, but I'm giving advice, right? So half off. Need for Speed Shift on the 360. That was $2.50. Star Wars Force Unleashed. It was, you know, they're complete. That was $3. Need for Speed Pro Street. $3. Now this is one of those that Pro Street, for whatever reason, there's a couple times a year where this will trade into GameStop for like 12 or 15 bucks. It's weird. At least over the last couple of years. Lord of the Rings Lego. That was $8. So it was $4. It's like a $20 game or so. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get it. It's complete. But again, my fault, rookie mistake. It's a Platinum Hits disc with a non-Platinum Hits cover. I don't know if it came that way, but you can see that it's a lot of water damage right there. So I'll probably have to sell this disc only. Like I said, I paid $4 for it, so I might get $9 out of the disc. Looks pretty clean. So yeah, I'll keep the manual, keep the case, throw the cover art away, clean it, and just sell disc only. And then, yeah, I can't believe this one was still there. Pikmin 3 for the Wii U, it was $12. So again, half off. So that little bad boy was $6 for Pikmin 3. I'm not a big Pikmin guy. It's not really much more valuable than $12, I wouldn't think. So I might just throw that in the Wii U collection until it gains a little value and then sell it. I forgot about these. So we go to the Buckeye Games and Flea Market, Tyler and I, and we're looking at DVDs, you know, and stuff. And I'm at this one guy's booth, and I find Tracy Lord's Laser Moon, okay, and then Tracy Lord's Intent to Kill. So I asked Tyler, I said, do you know who Tracy Lords is? And he said no. And I had to explain to him that she was a porn star back in like the 80s and wanted to make like legit movies. And of course, they're all like B movies, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure she's walking around half the time with her tits out or something. But yeah, they sell well because they're out of print. You know, this isn't going to be on Disney Plus. So for a couple, I think one was 10, the other one was 2. They sell for about 15 to 20 each. But anyway, we're at Flea Market on Main and found some games. They have games in like 3 different places. They have a lock case, like they have a glass case, and then they have you know, like a little case on top of that's got a lock on it. It's just like real thin, folds up, you know, it's got games in it. Then they got games in a case in the back, and then they got games on the shelf. So bizarre. So on the shelf, I found a video game enhancer, a Game Genie for the Sega Genesis. And for $5, I wasn't going to pass it up. I don't have one, but I don't really play that much Genesis to where I'll need one. But it looks like it comps pretty well. At least the one with this blue label on the bottom. And then in the case on the counter, this was on the shelf. Then in the case on the counter, they had some Game Boy Advance games. And the first one I snagged was Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, which I already have. But they had this one at $10. So I grabbed that. And then they had a copy of Pokemon Leaf Green for the GBA. And I took it apart there and checked it, authenticated the board and everything else. So legit copy of Pokemon Leaf Green, which is a great deal for $45. But when I went to pay, it was like 45, that would have been 55, and that would have been 60. So he just said, how about $50? And I said, sure, no problem. So really I got that for 5, that for 10, and let's just say to make everything happy, I got that for 35. So $35 for a Pokemon Leaf Green. So that's what we got so far. Deals, deals, deals. All right, so the last thing I picked up this week, I actually picked it up later today or earlier today. It's this thrift store in Johnstown, Ohio. It's called Angels Persist. It's a like a private. It's not like a Goodwill. It's not like a chain restaurant or chain thrift store. And they give back to the community. So I always like to stop in there and try and buy something if I can. I bought some pins and, Detroit Tigers purse. I'll throw that up on my eBay store. But they had these 2 giant boxes of World of Warcraft stuff. PC games, books, cards, little doodads, whatever. I'll show it to you. So I asked, and she said, well, I don't know how much that is. So she went and got the other lady. The other lady came in. It's like, the thrift store is like the first floor of a house size. And then you can go into the garage. You know what I mean? So she comes out and she goes, oh, we just got that in a couple days ago. We're going to sell it as a lot and we want $150. I said, okay, well, let me think about it because there's a time investment also here for me. I don't know what any of these cards are. I don't know if they go to sets or whatever. So I walk around, find some stuff, and it's spin the wheel day at this particular thrift store. Like once a month, they do the thing where you spin a wheel, just like The Price is Right. It goes click, 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 click. And whatever color you land on, if your item has that color in it, you get 50% off. My color was brown. Of course, why wouldn't it be? So, I'm looking around. I got this Detroit Tigers purse and these vintage bowling pins. Pins, not like bowling pins. And I asked the lady, I said, well, my color is brown and she wants $150 for the World of Warcraft stuff. Do I get 50% off? And she's like, I don't know. Let me go check. So she goes and checks and comes back and goes, yeah, it's, if that was your color and we have to sell it to you at that. And I said, okay, for $75, I'll take it. No problem. But there's a lady standing behind me, also works there. She goes, oh, we should have put that out after the wheel thing. And I look at her and I got kind of chippy and I kind of feel bad about it. And I said, well, it's been sitting here for how many days? No one's really been interested in it because they haven't even asked the price. Nobody even knows the price. So obviously someone hasn't asked. And she goes, well, I just brought that in like 3 days ago. And I said, oh, is this your stuff? She's like, no, somebody gave it to us like 3 years ago. And then my son plays baseball and one of the other kids on the team, his dad plays World of Warcraft. We offered it to him and he said he didn't want it. So it's been sitting in my basement for 3 years and we wanted to get it out. So I donated it yesterday. So here's where I got a little snippy. I said, wait a minute. You got this stuff for free. It's been sitting in your basement for 3 years. The one guy that you know that is into this stuff said, I don't want any of that. And you just left it in your basement and brought it in to donate it and donated it yourself. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, so if you didn't want it and this other person didn't want it, why are you like being weird that the store is getting $75 for this stuff? And she just kind of looked at me like, oh, yeah, you're right. These 2 giant boxes just sitting in the middle of the DVD and book aisle. Some kid runs through there and cracks their skull because he tripped over a box of World of Warcraft stuff. I don't get the mentality. It's almost like they're afraid to give someone a good deal. You know what I mean? Like, buy low, sell high, get it right. But in this economy, you really can't. You have to kind of lower your price a little bit, be competitive, and sell faster. I haven't mastered this. This is stuff, I got stuff on my eBay store, Under Armour shirts, I get them for like $2.50 and they sell for $9.99, but I put them for $8.99 and they don't sell. So, who's going to be spending $150 on World of Warcraft stuff at a thrift store that, by the way, is like off the beaten path in the middle of nowhere in Johnstown, Ohio? Like, I don't know. So be happy that you got $75 out of it when you got it for nothing. I don't know. Just my thoughts. Anyway, I'm going to go watch Laser Moon with Tracy Lords. I'll let you know how it goes. All right, so here's all that World of Warcraft stuff. I don't know anything about World of Warcraft. These little guys here, they open up and you like hold your decks and stuff in there. There's cards and all this stuff. I just don't know. These little guys came in. It was weird. It's like there's one card in there. So I don't know if that card has any value or is anything special, but there's some of those. There's 3 of these double boxes. You got some big cards in there. Just tons of cards. These look like they're sorted. I don't know. I have no idea what any of this stuff is, but we're going to learn today, I guess. 2 more little boxes. And then in the other box, we got, a bunch of PC games. I don't know if I can lot those up. We've got hardback books. Warcraft, the RPG, Magic and Mayhem. So I don't know if any of these have any value. I've recognized these Brady strategy guides because I used to buy those. But yeah, I just don't know anything about any of this stuff. But for 75 bucks, I figured I'd take a shot. Rise of the Horde. Who knows? All right, here we go. Let's wrap this up. So, listen, Laser Moon, you know, with Tracy Lords. There's some marvels in cinema history, you know, Wizard of Oz and Technicolor and Star Wars, Jurassic Park, The Matrix. And then there's Laser Moon. No, sucks. Don't watch it. It's horrible. It would be like if I tried to act in a movie, you know, it'd be like, so you think you're a warlord? Like it would be horrible. All right, so yeah, check this out. Bruce Lee, Path of the Dragon on the old DVD machines. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. And then the Duel on DVD. Now I have this on VHS. This one is sealed, but the seal is ripped. If you've never seen this, this is like one of Steven Spielberg's first films. And it's really crazy. I've talked about it before, but basically this guy gets into a road rage incident with this truck driver, but you never really see the truck driver, but the truck driver is always there at the next like gas station or next diner. Like it's pretty weird. Like I can imagine back in the day, like this was a very suspenseful thriller type movie, but yeah, if you've never seen this one, I definitely recommend it. It's pretty cheap though. Flea Market on Main. Go in there. Last week, you know, you guys saw I got a Pokemon game and a Final Fantasy game. But, you know, they had a copy of Super Mario Brothers 2. It does have a little nick on the label. So the last time I got one of these over there, I got Mario 2 and Mario 3, and it was like 16 bucks. And I sold them pretty quick, 20 bucks a pop. So threw that up on my eBay store, sell that, get my money back, and my $6 profit after taxes. Now check this out. This is super weird. This is the last thing I got today. It's just weird how things happen sometimes. So I was listening to Tylord, and I think it was Tylord, Wubsy, maybe a couple other people, and they were talking about the Mortal Kombat movie from 1995. And I was a sophomore or junior in high school, and, you know, obviously love video games and stuff like that. Love Mortal Kombat. So I couldn't wait to see that movie. So I'm watching that podcast. I'll leave a link to that down below if you want to hear their thoughts. But then I walk into Goodwill. By the way, Goodwill, sports games on PS2, $7.99, you know? But sitting there right on the shelf after watching this Mortal Kombat, or listening to this Mortal Kombat podcast, was basically the Mortal Kombat trilogy on PS2 for $1.99 each. All complete. These two are basically in like Mint, Armageddon, and Deception. Shaolin Monks will need a resurface, but I will keep this one because I definitely want to play it. I don't actually have these in my collection, but these discs are like mint. So I don't know if I'm going to list them or keep them. If you've never played this game, the character roster on this is absolutely insane. So, but yeah, it was just crazy. You know, listen to Tylords Mortal Kombat podcast, go into Goodwill like the next day, and they have all the Mortal Kombat games pretty much on the PlayStation 2. Then it's crazy that they sell PS2 games for $7, but these bad boys were $2 a piece. Anyway, craziness. That is all I got for this time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, share on social media. Don't forget to bang that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of your CM retro gaming goodness. Guys, take care of yourselves. We will see you on the next one.